So what we have is, we call it the Fanny Pick. It's essentially a MIDI controller that uses some of the logic of a guitar fretboard, and we're taking advantage of this machine called a digitar, which was made in the 90s, and its purpose originally was so that you could play some chords on a keyboard and then strum like a guitar, and you'd get the rhythm of a guitar, even though the note selection was coming from a keyboard. So we reprogrammed it so that basically it's the right hand of a guitar, so you can play it like a guitar, and then the left-handed guitar was built into this glove. What it essentially is 6 metal wires that are, they have optical sensors for each one, and by default, when you plug it into the computer, it sends note signals that correspond with the default tuning of an electric guitar. So for instance, the one closest to me is a low E, A, right, just like a normal guitar. And then it also has a velocity. So depending on which string I play, the velocity signal to a slider. So you can see if I'm playing the lowest string, I'm getting just that slider. And essentially we have 4 FSRs here, and you can play 4 frets of a guitar.
Yeah, so basically we had a glove and we put FSRs, or force sensitive resistors, on the fingertips, so that when you press them against the tip of your thumb, you basically get like a binary switch. That's what we're using them for. And we also attached a flex sensor to the back of the thumb to control pitch bend.
We have a foot pedal with 6 binary switches and 4 FSRs, and then these 2 changes the reference key, so you can go up and then go down, and then it just highlights this is the reference for guitar, and you can even go down to a bass reference key, and then these 4 are the channels in the reason patch, and these 4 FSRs change the parameters in the reason patch.
We also used a webcam to change some of the effects. Let's look at the sub patch here as a control. This whole patch takes a picture every half a second, and it references that picture or it compares that picture to the current incoming picture, and if there's any differences detected, you get this box put around the difference. And so then what it does is it spits out the coordinates of the upper right corner of the box and the lower left corner of the box. We looked at the x's, and then we added them together and then divided by 2 to get the width. And we compared that, we took that width and we made that control the delay on whatever channel that we put delay on.
Basically what we did for this visual interface is we just sort of have a chart that's the 12 frets of a guitar fretboard, and overlaid on it are colored boxes that can appear and disappear over a picture. So that was to tell like where we are on the fretboard, right? Because you only get 4 frets at a time. If this is basically a finger, a finger, a finger, a finger, and I'm shifting where I am. It's all accessible on the pedal board. So right now I've got my first finger lowest string would be that F, but if I go up, so our reason patch, we have 4 different main patches. The first 2 are NNXT samples. First one is a violin section that has delay on it. The second one was the one I just played as an upright bass. I think that this instrument works really nicely with the bass sound because it doesn't really lend itself to chords, but it lends itself really nicely to single note lines, and bass works really well with that. And then the second 2 are crazy subtractor patches that we made. So we have a bend sensor on the thumb, and I thought sort of this gesture of, I'll do it with the bass, it's much easier to hear this gesture, of taking your finger and then doing that is sort of really conducive to a pitch. You can get some pitch vibrato too. This NNXT patch is weird because it has a velocity different samples, so if I do this, you get that, or if I do, oops. See if I plug it really hard, you get that slide down, so I have to be careful. If you do use these FSRs, they're like they're sliders, but if you let go suddenly, it'll maintain the value it was at, right? So you can set it. So if I sort of press and then release slowly, I go back to 0. But if I press and then take my foot off, you can see that the number stays at the bottom there.
Excellent.
So what does that mean? It means I can set my filter, I can open it up and then leave it there, or close it up. Cool, right? When I hold my hand in front and leave it still,